Assalamu alaikum all. Hello and welcome back to JK's Corner. My name is Joke. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. On my channel, I talk about healthy Islamic living. I talk about marriages. I talk about education around raising good kids. I also share with you how I cook my Nigerian meals in a healthy way to support my healthy lifestyle. If those are some of the things you like to see on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave today. Thank you very much. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about raising our kids, specifically raising teenagers. This is something that may not have crossed your mind yet if you have younger kids, but I think it's important to start preparing for the time your kids are going to become teenagers. Now more than ever, it is very important that we raise successful Muslim kids. And what I mean by successful Muslim kids, I don't mean that materially, I mean that in an Islamic context. As Muslims, our goal, our aim is to end up in Jannah to Firdaus. And I'm sure that's something you want for your kids as well. So successful in this context mean kids that are going to be ending up in Jannah to Firdaus by the very special grace of Allah. Why am I doing this video today? It's to raise awareness to those of us who are migrating. We are leaving our country, Nigeria, coming to the UK to make a better life for ourselves, for our children. But one thing that is apparent is we tend to focus so much on making money, creating financial stability for our family, and then we somehow forget to spend time raising our kids. And what does that mean? It means that we are spending more time providing materially for them or leaving their education, even if they go to the madrasa, we're leaving more of that to external people to do on our behalf, which isn't a bad thing. And I'm saying that we have to be involved in how our kids end up to be successful, because that way we know we are doing what is right by our children. There are so many things these days that distract our kids. Even if simple video games is a distraction for them. So we need to make sure that we are not necessarily constantly watching them, but we are aware of the things they are doing. When I say aware, I know for a fact that kids will definitely hide things from us. I was a kid once. I know the things I hid from my parents. You've been a kid once. You definitely have hidden things from your parents when you were growing up. So kids are very good at hiding things from their parents. And this is why I think this video is very important. So kids tend to hide things from their parents. That is a given. That means when our kids get to teenage years, they not only hide things from us, they bottle things up, they become insolent, they become maybe unruly sometimes, they are angry sometimes because we're making rules and they're not liking those rules, and we find it difficult to connect with them. We find it hard to get across our point. We're constantly telling them that they're doing something wrong, constantly berating them because they haven't done something right, constantly angry at them because they're constantly not listening to what we're telling them to do. But my question to you is, how often do you listen to your kids? How often do you ask them for why they are acting out, why they are reacting the way they are doing? How often do you do that? So I'm saying to you that you need to change your tactic. Our parenting styles were shaped by how we were parented and how we think we would like to be parented. Now, that model doesn't work anymore in today's age, because when you and I were kids, there was maybe a little bit of internet. Now the level of access to the World Wide Web is just out there. Nobody can control the level of access the level of information on there. You can try by making sure your kids do not have access to these devices, but I guarantee you, unless they are living as a hermit where they don't have access to friends, either in school or the masjid, they are saying things. So you need to make sure that you are actually speaking to your children. You are actually listening to your children. So ask them questions. Why are you, if it's a particular occurrence, if they are angry and they are lashing out, or, that's probably maybe the extreme case. Even if it's just something that they are doing repeatedly that is making you concerned, ask them, listen to them. Ask them why they are behaving the way they are behaving, and listen, let them finish speaking. Whatever they say, if it's something that you can deal with there and then, talk calmly about it. And if they come back and say, but mom or but dad, listen to them again, hear what they have to say. But if you think it's ending up becoming back and forth, give it time. Come back in an hour's time when you've calmed down. But if you ask them what is going on, what is wrong, if what they told you is something really big that made your head, in that instance, take it away. Tell them, right, can we come back to this in 24 hours time? Have a sleep. Think about it. And also, I think this is where you need to, if this thing that your child has told you is something that has taken you by surprise, you were not expecting it at all, take it away. Find somebody that you can confide in. Tell it to them. And this is also where I want us as a people to not be judgmental of any individual. The fact that you had an easy motherhood or easy parenting life and the other person is coming to you with problem doesn't give you the right to judge them as being a bad parent. It just maybe has given you the skills, maybe, to be able to handle that situation better than they could have handled it. So listen to that parent who has come to you asking for advice, and in the best way you can, give them your counsel. And if you haven't got the answer to what they've come to you with, maybe you can direct them to resources, signpost them to maybe groups or facilities out there that would be able to deal with them. I'm saying this to say that in this day and age that our kids are growing up in, we cannot afford to bury our heads in the sand. We have to make sure that we are able to openly ask people for advice if maybe things are not going the way we want it to go. And I urge you, I encourage you as parents to please let your kids have your ears. Let them speak. Open your ears to them. Let them ask you questions. Do not shut them down. Listen to them, especially when they become teenagers. We know that they tend to withdraw from us a little bit, but let them know that they can talk to you, they can come to you, and even though you may not necessarily agree or like what they're doing in the moment, you understand that they're a different person to you. While you're trying to raise good kids, you are not trying to raise, you may be trying to, in some cases, raise a carbon copy of yourself, but know that you are most likely not going to get a replica of yourself. They are your children, they are not you. They are going to make their own mistakes. You should be there to support them, encourage them, guide them, and hopefully you will all come out of whatever it is happy and refer to it later and say, Mom, do you remember when XYZ was happening and you did XYZ to support me? That was something I have never forgotten. And I'm sure that is a compliment you would want to receive time and time again from your kids. I also want to say that please bear in mind, while you're making this move to travel or while you're settling down abroad, to remember to put your family at the heart of everything. When you're seeking that job, do not get a job that will compromise your family life. do not get a job that will compromise a healthy relationship between you and your kids. Because if you're seeking those job opportunities that is there because it's high paying, and then you are neglecting the upbringing of your children, you don't want to get down the line several years later and regret the decision you have made. Don't forget also that, so why I said you have to listen to your kids is because you have sent these kids to a school that encourages them to use their voice, that encourages them, that promise them that they will listen to them. So you as their parent at home, you have to also listen to them. You cannot have double standards. You cannot send them to school where we know that they definitely would be listened to, and then they come home and their parents are not listening to them. So you have to make sure that the treatment they are getting from school and at home is on par. So thank you very much for watching this video today. I hope you have learned one or two things. If you have, please give me a like and also share with a friend who you know would love to learn some of these tips. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.